Hey guys, Vega here for Serpent X Tech, and I need to go through the backstory of where we are and how we got here. So this is a 2009 Subaru Impreza 2.5i non-turbo. My son, who's currently helping me fix the core support, unfortunately rear-ended a car, cracking both headlights, busting up the bumper even more, bending the hood, and we actually got a hood from the junkyard. Not the same color, but it will work. Headlights on order, grill completely busted. It's actually in the back of the vehicle. And we're just trying to align it because the insurance company totaled this thing out. But I opted to keep it and fix it. Because this young man over here to the left graduated from high school as a certified welder and also goes to Embry-Riddle. So I'm sure we could figure it out. Have my friend with his welder coming over. We do need to add some bracing here because if you look, this metal is very weak. There's a nice gap right here. And a couple points that are, kind of hurting here. You can see we've already been starting to massage everything. Got the fenders off, so we got some more room to play because the headlights were bent in. All right, so most of the impact was here, but not on the bash bar or the main bumper support, just the core support, right? Because the Kia that he hit was a lot higher. So the headlights were sticking out a little bit, right? Because they were bowed in on the inside. And right now we're just trying to straighten it as much as possible before we put the new parts on, and we're going to keep the same bumper. So he's heating up this other area that buckled, and we're going to go ahead and just keep pulling little by little with some heat and some massaging and then some welding to reinforce the structure of this core support. I'm going to show you some photos and videos from previous as we went through this, but definitely recording this not only for insurance purposes and to protect my butt with the DMV or state of Florida, but also to show my son, even though the insurance writes things off, you might have a chance at repairing them. All right, so as you can see, the hood's not fully latched because the latch mechanism on the core support is obviously further back than the actual hood latch itself, but the grille completely busted. The bumper, again, is going to stay the same. It's going to look as scarred up as it is. Might clean up. Both headlights busted, and you can see how the insides of the headlights are kind of pushed in, right? That's the rear bumper of the Kia just pushing everything in. And then you can see there's a crease on both sides of the hood. Now, the good thing is the paint didn't crack. It's 3-stage paint. Subaru does a really good job, but it didn't really crack where it bent in, which is what was causing it, and there was no way to bend it back. We tried heating it up, we tried putting some weights on it, all that stuff, and it just couldn't do it. So when we lift up the hood, the only thing mechanically that was interfering is the radiator hose impacting the power steering. That was it. The radiator hose didn't get really cut or anything, but it was rubbing on the way home from the incident and stuff like that. But you can see how far back the core support is and how bent this center beam is where the latch mechanism was connected to. And again, looking at the hose, you can see where it was rubbing off like the mesh on the outside. It did leave a little mark on the actual hose, but it was primarily the mesh on the outside. So that entire core support structure needed to be pulled forward, and that's why the insurance totaled it out, because they did not feel comfortable with just trying to move it. They wanted to replace the entire thing. And unfortunately, that would have, been the whole entire core support from top to bottom. But you can see the hood being really creased. That was the hard part of all this. But junkyard right down the road from me, 15-20 minutes down the road, I just figured let's go find a good donor and go from there. You can see how horrible the gaps are. Obviously, now that the hood's been pushed back. The hinges, luckily enough, were still straight. Thank goodness. But we could have also, stolen the hinges off of the donor car, but we didn't have to. So we rocked with the same hinges, new hood, new headlights, new grille. Let's continue on. So we made some progress using the tree, the ratchet straps, and everything, a little bit of finessing. We got a bigger gap than I would like, especially right here. The new headlights, when they come in, you could see like when this thing was hit, the headlight kind of popped out that piece of metal in the fender. Gaps is good in the midsection and in the back. A little bit bigger than I would like, but much better than what it was previously. some adjustment and maybe some washer spacers, stuff like that, but the hood is latching now. This center bar was really pushed in, so I had to pull that out, and the core support, you know, is just really warped, which is why we had to make some adjustments and try to pull that up. Honestly, if we're looking at it from left to right, it's about straight. This right side definitely needs to come up a little bit more, because there's, you know, I could stick my whole hand in it right there. This one, kind of the same thing, but gonna do some minor adjustments, maybe try to pull up on that core support. But the hood's done. Now we're just waiting for the headlights, which should be in later this week. Gonna keep the old bumper, which is gonna look like crap, but just gonna maybe do some plasti weld or something, or maybe just leave it the way, bust it up the way it is. Because again, we just need to get it safely, use it safely to get from point A to point B, where my youngest is protected, but can get to school and work and stuff. But the grill, headlights, and bumper, and I will bring you guys another update. I do need to fix this hose here. This is for your windshield washer fluid, and you can see it's just split. Just deteriorates after time. Got another one from the same car. We got the hood off the junkyard. And so once we have the rest of the components, I'll provide you an update. But we did make some good progress getting that core support back to where it needed to be. Also, when the core support was pushed back, the hose that goes to the radiator was rubbing against the power steering pulley. Now that's got plenty of space, plenty of room, no issues there. So let's see what happens when we get the rest of the components. And here it is. So new headlights, got the dark versions. Looks a little bit sleeker that way. New grill, blacked out, just gloss black. Missing the Subaru badge, but might leave it like this for a little bit and then get a badge later. And then, as I mentioned before, same bumper in case the young one wants to play bumper cars again. We don't have a new bumper that he scratched up, because most of this damage right here in this section was from a sign he hit, not from the car he rear-ended. A little bit more damage towards the top was from the car he rear-ended, but either way, new bulbs, new headlights, hood from the junkyard, new grill. I would like to fine-tune some adjustments. For example, you could see this part of the bumper is not really clipped into the headlight, so that's because the headlight's still pushed in a little bit more than it should be there. And then on this side, you can see where the bumper's sticking out, so the headlight needs to come out just a tad more here. Still making some adjustments there, still making some tweaks, so to speak, but this will work to get the young one to his college courses and to any jobs that he might need to do as an apprentice, welder, piping, HVAC, whatever that he chooses to do. But definitely need to buff and kind of protect that hood. You can see how swirled up it is. I just gave it a quick dusting after the junkyard, and still need to replace the windshield washer hose that's deteriorated and that driver's side front there. But that is it. So now we got to wait for the salvage title to be mailed to us, which is going to take 6 to 8 weeks from the insurance company's partnership with Copart or whoever it is. And then got to get it inspected. And once I get the inspection done, then go back up to the DMV to get the title, because they unassigned the tag from this car already. Once the title was turned in, it was a clean title turned in, and now it's being changed to a salvage title, and then I need to change it to a rebuilt title. What are you guys doing? Bro, all in my shot. The heck? Oh, got the whole family over here. All right, what's up? Cool. You guys want to be in the video? I got you. Anyways, that's the update on the channel. Not crypto related, not tech related, but getting my son back up and running. If you took time to click on this video, thank you. I don't know if you got any useful information out of it, but take care of yourselves, and I hope you have a great holiday, whether you watch this around the Christmas holiday or later on. And yeah, like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Normally, I do tech and crypto-related content. I do have some automotive like guides and tips on certain things, everything ranging from the Acura TL to Dodge Journey. But this is just an update video for my subscribers who like cars and computers, and just want to give them an update on the situation with my son rear-ending a Kia. I'll see y'all later. Take care. Bro. What the... Go somewhere. What are we doing, gentlemen? and ladies. Come on. All right, cool. You get all those grubs.